Hi, how are you doing? I'm John Erni. I'm speaking to you from Hong Kong. Sorry I can't be there physically with you. So thank you for the opportunity, for allowing me to use this video to make a virtual appearance, to be with you in this panel. Um, I only have about 8 to 10 minutes time, I was told, and so I'm going to say fairly briefly to give you a sense about the shape of the project. So this project is about an investigation of a certain emerging male culture, masculine culture, that takes place on the internet in a kind of sex chat culture. Okay, and the context is Hong Kong. Right? So I'm going to read a portion of the paper, and there are several sections, and I will also have a couple of plates here, right here on my desk, that I will flash in front of the camera to illustrate a few points. Now, in this project which I conducted in Hong Kong, I tried to provide a discussion and even a problematization of sexual discourse that takes place in a fairly vast, albeit underground segment of Hong Kong society, in order to raise questions about gender, about sexual freedom, and even questions of misogyny. I want to use internet sex chat culture as a springboard to theorize the conception of sexual values through an ethnographic analysis of sex chatting. So this is a project that's based on empirical ethnographic research, what is called netnographic research, right? This project is based on a study of a very popular internet chat site in Hong Kong known as the Hong Kong Golden Forum. The Hong Kong Golden Forum. In Chinese, it's called 香港高登討論區. Now, the Golden Forum has been ranked by Alexa as a kind of #1 chat site, fairly well known. And it's also fairly well known that it's visited mainly by men, both male youth and older men. I, however, wanted to use this project to focus mainly on the main recurring themes in the sex chat, the specificities of the language used by the chatters, including written and visual slangs, metaphors, etc., that seek to reconstitute the meaning of sex as a function of the chatting. I want to give you a very quick sense about some of the findings. There are quite a number of important findings that we found in this study, but I can only give you a few examples here because of limited time. Okay. Not surprisingly, one of the features of the Golden Forum chat site is the extensive use of icons, short phrases, and idioms that form a kind of unique subculture almost, right? The usage of visual icons, but in particular, shows a lot of originality and creativity. The conversations epitomize a certain distinctive language usage in this context. Many of the visual icons that are seen in the chat threads are a direct substitution for a certain commonly used phrase. Let me show you a few. For example, users often like to input this particular icon, and this icon simply means fuck you, right? And this one, they use this all the time. Now, one of the core, most important icons of the forum is this icon, right? It is called a clown god. The Chinese expression is made up of two Chinese words, Gao San. Comprises of the word Gao and the word San. The word Gao is a phonetic approximation of another word, which is a kind of a swear word in Cantonese culture referring to the male genital, while San means God. Gao San is therefore a playful linguistic construct to mean the god of the penis or the god of stupidity. Now, as the icon looks like the face of a clown, it is also called the Xiu Chao San, or the clown god, right? This icon is used very, very frequently in Golden Forum as a shorthand to respond to something stupid or something lame in the chatting. The icon has been so much embraced by the chatters that they almost venerate it as a god, and they will put it on t-shirts, on mugs, and other objects to be adorned among chatters for easy recognition in offline chattings, in offline contexts. All of this confirms or conforms to the bragging, teasing, and bullying culture on Golden Forum, even as they faithfully practice the use and reuse of those icons. I also want to talk a bit about the other kind of language usage that takes place on Golden Forum. The Golden Forum chatters adopt their own set of idioms that are distinctive. So they largely form two groups of the expressions. One group draws from original Cantonese phrases with innovative changes, phonetically or semantically, while the other group are phrases that are crystallized from layers and layers of changes and sequences of development within the Golden Forum chatting culture itself. Let me take an example. Take the term J as an example. It is not only often used within the forum, it is frequently used in combination with other words to form phrases. The original meaning of J refers to male masturbation, and it comes from another frequently used Cantonese slang to depict male masturbation, 打飛機, right? Or 打 JJ. From J arises a whole range of related terms, such as Jing, J photo, J post. There are many others that I cannot say on camera. The term J, therefore, and its associated phrases proliferate not only on Golden Forum, it is so commonly and widely used by Hong Kong youth anyway. Its reach is so wide that it's now frequently used within casual conversation among young people in Hong Kong. Sometimes the use of the expressions on Golden Forum is incomprehensible to outsiders. Too many examples which I will skip. Let me just maybe say a few words about it by way of concluding. So, this type of project can give us a certain indicative value of what types of sexual values are emerging around what kind of masculine culture in the age of digital sex chatting. Now, men are often known to talk about sex in all sorts of contexts, but in this particular context, it is the meanings of sex are profoundly shaped by a very quotidian, unrefined, vernacular source of meaning making. So in some ways, this gives us a window into looking at Hong Kong's changing gender culture, dominated by men and teenage boys that often visit sites like Golden Forum. In Hong Kong, we give them names like poisonous males or geeky boys, etc., etc. Right? Now, this sort of experience seems to be remaking our local sexual discourse. And I hope that this kind of notion, like vernacular masculine culture, can help to reshape the direction of gender studies in Hong Kong, which places less emphasis on well-worn ideological modes of construction of maleness, but instead put more emphasis on the fluid flow and interaction of sexual speech constituted out of freely unscripted lines of imagination. So if there is any implication or contribution of this type of project, is to open up something that indeed looks at or tends to attend to the more fluid nature of creative sexual speech interaction as a basis out of which we could understand a certain emerging masculine culture. in a kind of broader world of gender in Hong Kong. So that's my little report on the project. So thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye bye.